How we doing? How we doing? This is Destination Denver, Colorado, and today I'm talking to active duty military, talking to my fellow veterans. If you're thinking about moving to Colorado in 2024, this video is for you, and we're starting right now. All right, this is Destination Denver, Colorado. I'm your host, Jimmy Evertson. Listen, if you're interested in learning all the ins and outs, pros and cons to moving to or around Denver, Colorado, then this is the channel for you. So that subscribe button and notification icon you see on your screen, make sure you click on that as I'm dropping new videos for you each and every week. And as much as I try to be a little educational here on camera, I'm also a licensed mortgage broker covering the entire state of Colorado and team with some of Denver's most talented realtors. And we're helping people move here each and every day. So the number and email you see, know that I am always the person answering your phone calls, answering your texts, answering your emails, there when and if you need me. Now that we're done with that fun-filled stuff, let's get to what we're here for, and that is you active duty and veterans thinking about moving to Colorado. Let's dive into it. All right, so obviously this conversation is going to be a little different if you're active duty and you are going to be stationed in one of Colorado's bases. It's different if you're maybe active duty coming out here and recruiting, and it's different if you are a veteran just moving here with the ability to live wherever you want. So we're gonna kind of take these in segments, but let's start with where our military bases in Colorado, primary military bases are, and where if you're moving here for those, most likely you're gonna wanna live. So we certainly can't start the conversation about military bases in Colorado without talking about the Air Force Academy down in Colorado Springs. Now certainly that's going to be pretty specific for duty stations. But stretching out from there, we have one primary base close to Denver. That's Buckley Space Force Base. Was Air Force Base, so it takes me a little while to get that right, but Buckley Space Force Base, which is located in Aurora. And one of the primary reasons that Aurora is so military friendly and has so much foundation there for military. So the other four primary military bases we have are all located in Colorado Springs. Two of them are gonna say El Paso, Colorado Springs, El Paso. The location of these bases, pretty interrelated there. So you've got the Cheyenne Mountain Air Force Base down at Colorado Springs. You also have Peterson Air Force Base. And then again in El Paso, you're gonna see Shriver Air Force Base and Fort Carson Army Base. Fort Carson being our biggest Army base here in Colorado. Shocking, they don't have a Navy base here. Probably some recruiting stations, but apparently they had a really tough time getting piers built in Colorado, maybe pulling a submarine in. Shocking. So if you're active duty, odds are your conversation about where you're going to live is going to start either in Aurora, if you're going to be at Buckley, or it's going to be in Colorado Springs or neighboring suburbs if you're going to be at any of the other bases. Now, that's not to say that you are restricted to those two areas, but when I have conversations with people, that's usually where they want to start. That's not a bad thing. As we get into conversations about veterans or people who have a little more flexibility in where they live in Colorado, you're gonna find that Aurora and Colorado Springs, for a reason, are two of the better areas for military members, again, whether you're active or veteran, to live. They're communities that have been built around the military in a lot of reasons. So you're not starting in a bad spot there. Now, if you are, again, a veteran, or if you have a little more flexibility as far as where you live, you're still, again, you're gonna still wanna look at Aurora. You're still gonna wanna look in Colorado Springs. These are towns that have a lot going for them as far as their assistance towards veterans, towards the community, very, very military friendly. In addition to that, communities that are well known, like the Military Times routinely talks about some other communities within Colorado for how they treat veterans. Among them, Lakewood, Colorado, where I am from, you'll see a lot of benefits that we will get into in this video, but Lakewood does a lot for their veterans. Highlands Ranch, Colorado, south of us, very big on veterans. Highlands Ranch is kind of the pristine suburb community of the Denver metro area. It was kind of the first thought out, perfect suburb, if you will. Big on veterans. So whether that is through their memorials they have throughout the town, whether it is some of the events, the festivities, festivities, whether things there, and some of their resources. Highlands Ranch is going to be huge. And then very nearby is Centennial. Centennial, Colorado, also highly rated. So when you really think about 5 communities, and listen, I think veterans can find a lot of communities that they'd enjoy in Colorado, but the top 5 seem to be Aurora, Colorado Springs, Centennial, Highlands Ranch, Lakewood. Hopefully I didn't just miss the 5. All I had to do was remember 5. But those are the ones that are routinely highly rated. Now, if you're coming here, certainly if you're going to be on base, your situation might be different. You're going to have access to commissaries. Your medical facilities are going to be there. The things you're going to be doing often are on post. For anyone else, or if you're out in Denver as a veteran, let's talk through some of the amenities and some of the things that you may want to be aware of. First off is the Rocky Mountain Regional VA Hospital located in Aurora, Colorado. This is a huge facility out in Aurora. A lot going around it. It's in the same area as the Anschutz campus for CU Medical. Really a massive area in Aurora for hospital facilities. But that Rocky Mountain Regional Hospital will be a huge resource for you no matter where you live in the Denver metro area. Chances are, if you are going for an appointment with the VA and it has significance, you're going to be going out to Aurora to that hospital. Great facility. I feel like I've been treated extremely well there every time I've gone. I've gotten pretty good feedback. And listen, we all know there's times where we love the VA and there's times where it can be frustrating. I think overall they do an excellent job there with the resources they have, and it's a great facility. So the second thing I would mention as far as coming out to Colorado, again, whether you're active duty or a veteran, is that veteran community here in Colorado. It starts with the Colorado Veterans Project. You have Denver Veterans. Those 2 organizations, and there are others, do a heck of a lot for veterans, whether it's helping them with educational resources, job opportunities, really just getting veterans together to be a resource for each other. So again, 2 really great places to start. And I feel Colorado gets better and better in that regard. Denver catching up to Colorado Springs. Colorado Springs has been doing it forever. They've had the Air Force Academy. They've needed to support the military for as long as they can remember, as long as we've had an Air Force anyway. Denver really catching up to that. But there's some really great veteran communities that you can get involved in here around Denver and then down in Colorado Springs. The third thing I would mention is our outdoor recreation. Now listen, you don't have to be in the military or having served to enjoy nature here in Colorado, but when we talk about hiking, trails, camping, getting out in the wilderness, one thing you're going to realize very quickly is that you get some significant discounts whether you're active duty or a veteran. Certainly you get better discounts on a lot of things if you're active duty. So there are ski passes. If you're into skiing, there are plenty of ski passes where if you're active duty, you're getting it for $99. You're getting it for a ridiculous discount. You still get a pretty healthy discount as a veteran. Now, whether that is skiing or whether you just want to go to state parks. So if you get a pass for a state park, you're covered for any state park. Active duty will get a very solid discount. Veterans still get a healthy discount on their state passes. So whether or not, again, you're active or veteran, you're going to have access to a lot of our outdoor activities, the chance to get out, really see this state and enjoy it. And that's one of the nice benefits we receive. The fourth thing to know, and I think Colorado could still do more, and they're making progress, but that is their state level veteran assistance. This includes tuition assistance. If you're trying to go to college, this has some preference on state employment positions. That's not to say that you're a shoe-in, but you do have somewhat of an advantage, which, humbly speaking, I think we earn. So the state does a lot on that level. They could still, they're looking at others. They're looking at other, whether it is further educational platforms, whether that is, specific training, different state positions or employment opportunities. I think there's more, but there's a healthy amount of assistance from the state to help us get where we want to be. The fifth thing, and I can't say that this is Colorado only, but it does have a strong presence here, and that is vet ticks. So Vet TIX, and this is tickets for sporting events, concerts, what have you. And again, I'm sure you can get this in other states, but especially around Denver, if you get on VetTix, you can get tickets to so many very cool events at a pretty hefty discount. So for all of you who have just been dying to go see Taylor Swift, I'm kidding. For all of you, whether you're going to a concert, whether you're going to a sporting event, get on VetTix, check it out. You can usually find things very reasonable, especially for sporting events. Now, I'm not saying, you know, we're military members. They're not giving us courtside seats, but you can get pretty decent tickets, very affordable, and especially if you're trying to take your family out, you're trying to take a group out, it's very helpful. The sixth thing, and certainly I could have moved this farther up, just kind of taking things in different order, is the mental health resources that we have. Now, I can only really mention this local to Denver. That's where I've had enough conversations to know the Denver Vet Center is an excellent resource there for any mental health resources or outreach. Certainly Colorado Springs has its elements, and I think that you're going to find that in a lot of communities in and around Denver and throughout the state. Obviously, as you get out into more sparse regions of the mountains, that might be a little more difficult. You might have a drive for you. But if you're anywhere near the Denver metro, you're near Colorado Springs, plenty of resources, and those continue to improve and increase. That is at least the feedback I have gotten from my friends and colleagues who have utilized those resources. I feel like this is one of those videos where any attempt to be lighthearted has not been done very well, and I can just see all of the other branches. Hopefully my Navy folks are supporting me, but I see a bunch of Marines, Army dudes, Air Force people going, man, this guy can't get words out of his mouth. It's not my fault. I was in a submarine for a long time, probably got hit in the head a few times. Next thing up, number 7, I would say are the veteran-friendly businesses, and you see that a lot here. Whether that is from employment opportunities because they like to hire veterans, whether that is from discounts that specific businesses apply, you see more and more of that as we go. And one thing that I've really enjoyed is as I've had veteran friends or veterans reach out to me about moving here, is specifically going back to employers giving a preference, which again, they should. You served your country. There are so many employers who are excited about the opportunity to hire on veterans, hire on, to pay back your service through opportunity. And as I mentioned, a lot of these businesses are going to give their discounts. We all like to throw on our military shirts and go get our free breakfast at IHOP on Vets Day. Number 8, and again, my order is all over the place here, but just kind of thinking through these, is property exemptions for property tax. And this is going to be specific to different communities, different counties. For instance, Aurora, I mentioned being one of the more prominent areas for military members to live. They give pretty significant discounts on your property tax if you have a disability rating. And so different counties will handle that differently. Some will give you a discount simply for being a veteran. Some will give you a discount for being active duty, and some will require that you have some level of disability. But property tax exemptions can save you plenty of dough. And trying to tie a few together. Next up, I would talk about the community events. And again, different communities handle it differently, but you'll see, especially like on Veterans Day, I called it earlier Vets Day, hopefully that didn't offend anybody, but Veterans Day, Highlands Ranch has big festivities for it, Aurora, Colorado Springs, Broomfield has some things for veterans, not just on Veterans Day, but in general. So you'll have different festivities and festivals built around our military service. And then next up, Colorado is in general very health conscious and very pet friendly. So one, it's a pet friendly state. So whether it is a service animal or not, chances are you'll be able to bring your dog to plenty of places. And if it's a service dog, it's pretty much wherever you want. We can have that debate if you like. Me, I don't really care if dogs are just about anywhere, but very dog friendly, very pet friendly, I should say. And then on top of that is your health and fitness. So not only can you bring your dog everywhere, but from a health and fitness standpoint, I mentioned earlier about state parks giving a lot of discounts. Same thing with gyms, different fitness centers, plenty of veteran benefits there. They give us a lot. And if you're active duty, again, even more so. You get more discounts, but a lot of health and fitness areas will give you some assistance there for your service. And the last two things I wanted to touch on were really for veterans coming out here and looking to do some new things. So first, for my potential veteran entrepreneurs, or maybe you're active duty moving out here and then you want to start your own business. So for potential Colorado veteran entrepreneurs, there are a lot of services here, and it's a very pro-entrepreneur, pro-veteran, pro-entrepreneur society here in Colorado. So specifically, you have the Colorado Small Business Development Center. They have a ton of resources for veterans. They have a ton of resources in general, but a ton of resources for military members to look into, whether that is, you know, putting your business plan together, whether that is forming an LLC, just kind of getting yourself moving. Or if you have maybe you've already set up your business plan, maybe you already have your LLC, maybe you have already set up your foundation, they have resources to get you really moving in that right direction. And then tying into that, if entrepreneurship isn't your thing, you'd rather, you know, go to school, to a trade school, whether it is colleges, whether it is trade schools here in Colorado, especially around Denver, a ton of resources, whether that's tuition assistance, reduced tuition, grants, and different programs for military members. So whether you want to go to college and just get a degree, I say just, if you want to go to college and get a degree, or whether you would prefer to look into a specific trade. Maybe you've already been trained on something and you want to enhance that training to go into the civilian world, a ton of opportunities there. So all in all, if you are active duty or a veteran thinking about making a move to Colorado, a ton of resources for you. Plenty of areas to live in. And I know I mentioned 5. There are countless areas in Colorado that would be a great place for any veteran, and certainly an active duty member who can deal with their drive to base, their recruiting station, or a MEPS. Maybe you're coming out to Denver to be a MEPS. Either way, and certainly some of these resources, which I would be more than happy to give you a little more insight on if you'd like, and that's a perfect opportunity to hit me up. So that number and email you see on your screen, know that I am always the person, answer your phone calls, answer your texts, answer your emails, there when and if you need me. This is Destination Denver, Colorado. I'm your host, Jimmy Everetts. That was active duty and veteran military members thinking about moving to Colorado in 2024. Until I see you all next time, peace.